It's the announcement.
Woj.
Yeah, breaking news. Would you please? What? This is weird.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
From the Twitter account of Adrian Wojnarowski, NBA reporter. I'm just going to read the statement. I grew up the son of a factory worker 2 miles from ESPN's campus and only ever dreamed of making a living as a sports writer. 37 years ago, the Hartford Courant gave me my first byline, and I never stopped chasing the thrill of it all. This craft transformed my life, but I've decided to retire from ESPN and the news industry. I understand the commitment required in my role, and it's an investment I am no longer driven to make. Time isn't an endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful. I leave with overwhelming gratitude for countless mentors and colleagues, subjects and stories, readers and viewers. No one has benefited more than me from the belief, trust, and generosity of others. The past 7 years at ESPN have been a particular privilege. I'm appreciative of the company's leadership, especially Jimmy Pitaro and Christina Douglas, for the understanding and acceptance of my decision to make a life change. After all these years reporting on everyone's teams, I'm headed back to my own. That is Adrian Wojnarowski announcing his retirement just before the NBA season. A Woj bomb on Woj.
Did you see Adam Schefter?
I think he just said, what did he say? Like, what a career?
Oh, what's next? Like, I don't get what this is. He said,
what a statement. What a career legend.
Adrian Wojnarowski has agreed to become the general manager of the men's basketball program at St Bonaventure. He told ESPN the role includes name, image, and likeness allocation, recruiting, and supporting successful Bonnie's.
Why does this feel like a joke?
I know.
Like, it's Schefter.
This would be like on draft night, and it's a fake Woj tweeting that out.
What? That's insane. I mean, and by the way, I don't look. If it's all real and that's what he wants to do, and God bless him. Good for that. Good for him. Wow. I guess the first question I have, Chris, does this mean Shams won?
I think so.
I think so. Wow. Right before the season starts. Somebody on the YouTube chat pointed out, that's a very good comment. Very small font, huh, Dave? Yes, it was. About 10 years from now, I wouldn't be able to read that statement. Interesting. With breaking news, it hits us the same time it hits you. So look, in the big scheme of things, a reporter retired. Okay, whatever. I don't want to get too crazy lapping up Adrian Wojnarowski, but let's just be honest. He kind of helped revolutionize the way, whether you are into it or not into it, the way reporting happens in the NBA. And it kind of spread. Guys like Schefter, Woj, Shams, who was kind of Woj's, Padawan. Who would it be? Jeff Passan, maybe? Buster Olney? Ken Rosenthal in baseball. That's an interesting, and I get, by the way, what he's saying. Look, dude, being a Woj, being a Shams, that is a lot of work,
especially with stuff with. I guess you don't really do it all that much, but for me, when I go on vacation, I like to just put my phone somewhere for a while.
Not them.
Never.
The networking that you have to do. It's not just, and I got a little bit of a peek at this last summer. It's not just, having relationships with agents and general managers and players. It's cultivating those relationships. So I had mentioned this before on the air, but last summer, one of my best friends got married, who happens to be the manager for DeMarcus Cousins. And so DeMarcus was there. I was there. A bunch of other people were there. And Shams Charania was there. And just in talking to Shams, and I'm not trying to say that Shams doesn't have a legit friendship with DeMarcus. What I'm saying is that that's one of, I'm sure, I mean, they're constantly going to different events. You have to be friends with everybody. You have to have conversations with all your sources on a regular basis so they don't think you're just using them. It is you are a social butterfly because that is your bread and butter. That is your currency, and how you get these scoops, how you get these relationships, and how other people don't get the scoops because, hey, this guy was at my wedding. I'm going to talk to him first. It's just, who takes the mantle? Well, the obvious, the guy having the best day today is Shams Charania. Like MC is asking in the YouTube chat, well, who's the new Woj? Well, Shams is the new Woj. The question is, who's the new Shams? That's the question. We'll have Sam on about this. Sam's not due to start for a couple weeks, but we're going to have to talk to Sam. I'll tell you right now, for those of you, I've already seen a couple people saying, oh, Sam. No, Sam, but Sam doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, it's like people think that sports writer, it's all the same job, and it's very, very different.
It is incredibly different. It is a whole different world. It is truly apples and oranges. It's almost like the difference between being a player and being a reporter. These guys are about as close to players as they can be. They just aren't on the court. But they're in the locker rooms. They're at the weddings. They're at the bar mitzvahs. They're at the parties, the clubs, the this and that and whatever. Oh, we'll have Mark Jones on soon. Mark will tell you, he calls it working the club all the time. He's on the sidelines before and after games. Yeah, you ever watch, you all will know this, Kings fans, where you're watching a Kings game, and Mark and Katie, it's the second quarter, 3.5 left. And the Kings are playing the Orlando Magic. And, during a slowdown in the action, Mark will say something like, I was playing Call of Duty with Franz Wagner last year at a tournament in Belgrade. And afterwards went and worked out with Doc Rivers and his son Austin. And we were talking about Nikola Jokic. And I was recalling how I actually was racing one of the horses Nikola owns, because I'm also into horse racing. And I'm joking, but Mark will come up with the most random encounters. But what he'll say is he'll be like, and I'll tell you, Joker told me that his knee had been bothering him last year. And he worked out with Franz Wagner, who showed him this thing, and they got these blood platelets done. And Franz Wagner's increase in 2 years in scoring has been through the roof because his knee's better. So what Mark does, like a lot of these guys do, but Mark's really good at it, is, hey, here's all these rando encounters. I was working out at on South Beach in Miami with DeMar DeRozan. And in the process, you get all this backstory that you then incorporate into your announcing. That's not the same as Fred Smith, the play-by-play guy for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's Eric Hasseltine, but I'm using an example, who just does his job, and that's it. And Woj, that's crazy, man. Good for him. So he's now going to be the GM at St Bonaventure. By the way, is that not his alma mater? I know we got a break here. Let me just check that real quick.
We got a break because it's halfway through the week.
We will take a break right now. Yeah.